So, Ruse, he must be with you.
He is my bodyguard, man. Oh, really? Will Smith?
Will Smith's a motherfucker of a player.
I was like, okay, when is a fucking TV show coming up?
Yeah, and also sometimes we overstepped our mark, we overreached, we're a bit cocky, we have our arseholes fed back to us. No, I've been a black belt for about 5 years. And I've always wanted someone that just claps. You want to come out there and just destroy them.
Was geht ab, Freunde? Mein Name ist Bruce mit einer speziellen Folge heute für euch. Und zwar habe ich mich getroffen mit dem Mann, ihr wisst, wirklich eine Liste an Lieblingsfilmen von ihm, Guy Ritchie. Er hat einen neuen Film, The Gentleman, mit wirklich Who is Who, absoluten Stars in dem Film. Ich habe den Film schon gesehen. Ein sehr geiler Film, ihr wisst, wenn ich das sage. Zieht euch diesen Film auf Lunge, ich habe mich mit ihm getroffen. Wir haben gequatscht, er ist ein sehr nicer Typ. Er hat einen Schwarzgurt in Jiu-Jitsu und darüber reden wir. Wir reden über seinen Schach, er spielt Schach. Und Freunde, ich kann euch nur sagen, wirklich, am Ende der Sendung, ja, erfahrt ihr noch, wie ihr 5 mal 2 Karten gewinnen könnt. Ich habe nämlich für den Film Karten für euch. Also zieht euch auf Lunge bis zum Ende. Am Ende verrate ich es euch. Jetzt erstmal viel Spaß mit Guy Ritchie und wir sehen uns gleich wieder.
Okay, so the next
Come on in. How are you?
My name is Ruse.
How are you, Ruse?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So, Ruse, he must be with you.
He is my bodyguard, man. When I read you train, you're not black, but it is, what is the belt you have right now?
It's Andre, yeah. No. Yeah. No, I've been a black belt for about 5 years.
Oh, you have the black belt?
Yeah. 5 years, a bit longer than that now. It feels like... Yeah. No, as soon as
He's
he
the
walked in,
youngest black belt
you
in
look
Germany.
like you could fight as soon as he walked in.
I wanted to bring him in because I saw
He's a black belt too, by the way.
Which?
Yeah,
he's black belt. Yeah. He can't be a black belt. There's only one black belt in Germany.
How old are you?
I'm 24.
24. Fuck me, you're young.
Yeah, I started young.
Yeah. What age did you start?
15.
15. Good for you. That's the age to start.
It's a good start.
Yeah.
He and his brother have a famous school in Düsseldorf in Germany. They make, I don't know if I can tell him, but it's the other thing. It's luta livre. It's
like,
not.
We're not from BJJ originally.
Yeah.
Luta livre, like another Brazilian style. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I just like fighting.
Yeah.
But because most of them
Grappling's
are like,
grappling, and then you have nuances and accents on grappling, but essentially I like grappling.
we Persians, you know, it's wrestling is a
Yeah, I
lot,
know. Fucking,
you know.
That was your
So be careful,
speed.
brother. No, but I'm too lazy for that. You always tell me like.
But it's funny. As soon as he walked in, he looked like he could wrestle. You look like a wrestler rather than a striker.
Maybe I think it's a Persian origins, the Persian food. All the training.
So whereabouts are you from then? So
we're immigrants. Yeah, we're from Iran.
Yeah.
I'm born in Iran, but you were born here, right?
do Persians only come from Iran?
No, Persians are also from India and stuff. Persians is the original.
Yeah.
The original, like, what do you say? Can I say race is politically correct?
Yeah. Okay, right.
I don't know.
By the way, the last question was, what does political correct mean?
Well, don't come with that.
No,
man.
go on. Why not? You tell me what political correct means.
Come on, man.
We're all trying to work out what it means.
Das juckt doch keinen.
Fuck, I don't know. You tell me.
I don't understand any of it. So if someone would like to explain it to me, then I feel much wiser. Or we could all just fight about it.
Yeah, that would be the best. I never take a press junket. It's my second press junket in my life.
Okay, can we just do a longer one, please? Can we stop being on the clock, Jane, a bit? How long is this supposed to be?
What were you?
They give me 5 minutes.
All right.
I ask him for the weather. I ask him.
Let's do 15 minutes.
Okay, let's
do 15 minutes.
Let's go for it.
Otherwise, I'll fucking kill myself. Let's just talk about something that's fucking interesting.
I was like do my research yesterday.
Yeah.
And I tell the guys, man, you guys, you know me. I never do a press junket, but it's Guy Ritchie, man. I'm coming, all right?
Thank you.
Okay, I'm a big fan of the movies, obviously. And I was doing my little research yesterday, and I saw a very nice talk with Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And right away, like in the first second, you told him, man, I hate press junkets. And I was like, fuck. So why is he doing that?
I have to tell you, do you know why I'm doing it? Because I quite like a day trip away from London. Because it's fun.
Yeah.
But what isn't fun is a press junket. It's the only thing that is not fun in the film business is a press junket.
Yeah.
But we were talking in the previous interview about reconciliation. And the truth is, we're talking about dead stuff and alive stuff. Press junkets are dead. But there's a place for it, because there's a place for death and there's a place for life. So I feel as though I shouldn't hate them as much as I do. And the good thing about today, I'm only doing 2 hours, which is now turning into be longer than fucking 2 hours. But I don't care, because now it's interesting. And once it becomes interesting, then it's no longer dead. So I don't care. I can fucking sit here for 6 hours if we're talking about something interesting. What I can't do is, for more than 2 hours, talk about dead stuff. And these things are constructed in a way as to be dead. But there is a time and a place for dead stuff. Because you're watching the telly, you flick on 5 minutes, you want, oh, da, 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 da. There's no life in it, but you get the point. So I'm here because we fancy a day in Germany. It's a day out. I'll get drunk on the plane going home.
Where's my RITCHIE, by the way? Where's my fucking RITCHIE,
by the way, it's funny you should say that. I got a bottling plant today, right? And I'm like, I've got a factory. And it's fun to have a factory. And today was the first, like an hour ago, there's now a bottling plant, and I saw a picture of the bottling plant, which I was very excited to see. So from now on, I will everywhere I travel, I will travel with a lot of beer.
Yeah, it's good. The Rock is doing the same. He's traveling with his, I don't know, whiskey or...
Tequila he is.
Tequila. Everybody's doing tequila, right?
I know. Tequila's not for me. My wife likes tequila. That will tell you about tequila.
It's more British, right? Beer is more like...
I love beer.
Yeah. So they like woke me up. They showed me the movie. It's not fair. They showed me the movie like 9 o'clock in the morning. I have a screening like I don't know 2 hours ago. I was half like, oh man, woke up and then it started with the RITCHIE, like a little bit RITCHIE in it. I'm like, yeah man, I know this. And I woke up and it's I enjoyed the movie really good. It starts like a little slow and then you come in and you're like, where is it going? Where is it going this time? But I would say it's a classic. It's a classic Guy Ritchie movie, right? It's crime. It's I mean, when the trunk is open, right? Yeah. And there is this angle, tilt. You say it's tilt, and the
Dutch in the film is, as you call it, Dutch.
Dutch. Yeah, Dutch. Yeah. And there's two guys looking. It's.
heißt Fuck, aber mit PH, also verhack.
Bitte.
Komm, verhack ihn runter.
Bitte.
Fuck.
You know, I was like, when this came up, I was like, yeah, man, we are in a Guy Ritchie.
I have a feeling I completely stole that from.
Yeah, they have that also, right? A little bit Tarantino type of stuff, but. Man, I prepared to like 2 questions. It's like, what is your favorite movie of all the movies you did? And the second question was...
That's impossible to answer, so the second one.
The second boring question was like, I was like, okay, when is a fucking TV show coming up? Like
actually, we'll probably make a TV show of that.
I heard that.
Well, because originally we wrote this as a TV show, and then we were about to go on the TV, and then someone said, "Look, can we please make it into the movie?" So we made it the movie. So now we get on with the TV show. So we will get on with the TV show. But my feeling is
it's going to be a TV show.
It's going to be a TV show.
Oh right, okay, nice.
I think it's going to be a TV. Yeah.
Can we say it?
Well, we wrote it as a TV show. There's lots of episodes, so it's already there. It'd be silly not to turn it into a TV show. But I'll tell you the reason why I quite like starting with. What makes these things a bit more palatable is if you start with a question like what's political correctness, it feels as though everyone can understand where everyone's coming from. Yeah. Because I think to certain people, you don't know what it is. I don't know. Do you know what it is? I don't really know what it is.
I think it's constantly changing. You can't
define it.
Yeah, it's not now. It's not the same thing like I don't know in the 80s or something.
Okay, but if we say, well, funnily enough, we looked up the definition of it. The definition is a perfectly positive definition, but it's in the way it manifests itself, it suddenly becomes a dogma and is actually not inclusive because the idea is it's supposed to be inclusive. In other words, whatever the fuck that means, no one really sure what that means. But you mean being polite? Yeah. If it means generous of spirit, then I get it. But what happens when I'm forced into having to say something which apparently is what you're supposed to say because it's a dogma and it's not coming from you, it's coming from a dogma. And then what are you supposed to be doing? It becomes very awkward. And then if you don't dance to the beat of the drum, then you're excluded. Well, this is a mess.
So what is it for you, politically correct?
It's a lack of irony with good intentions.
A lack. Okay. Well, I think it's constantly changing, and I think the people are forcing. It's not about is it a good movie or is he a good actor? I think this is what you're saying. This is going wrong, right? You have to take a woman. You have to take a black guy. It
feels very literal. It feels very literal.
Yeah.
And surely the whole idea of the thing is not to be literal, right? Feels like the whole purpose of the movement is to not judge people on their facade. But the irony is you're judging people on their facade. What we're trying to do is you're trying to get to the essence of a human being. Yeah. And the only way you can get to the essence of a human being is to ignore their facade. Well, not completely. There's a facade, fine, let's move past the facade. But when it then becomes, this is about their facade, it's self-defeating. Because now we're obsessed with the facade. What we're trying to do is transcend the facade. And I think that's where we end up in trouble.
Yeah, but you know, it's difficult for you as a filmmaker because in films you're working with facade. We need that because you have no time to like describe a character as, you know, you don't have that time. You need a look, you need.
But isn't this the same as an interview, right? It's the same as an interview.
But
what makes it quite interesting because there's a time for a dead part of an interview.
Yeah.
There's a time for the cup, right? The cup is dead, but the liquid inside it is not. Right? The cup is there to serve the fluid, not the other way around. So, in part, but you need a cup. You need a facade. But the problem seems to be when people start thinking that that is more important than that. That's only there to serve that. But you need both. You do need both.
Yeah, you need both. And that's why I like this movie so much. Because it's
back
more...
to the movie.
Huh?
Yeah, back to the movie.
No.
No.
I just watched it, you know.
Yeah. By the way, it's better that you just watched it. At least it's fresh.
Honestly, I have to watch it again because it's like it's a lot of dialogue. I love the plot twist and everything.
Yeah, there's a lot. It is a lot.
But I have to watch it again. Yeah, I love to watch them again.
I have to tell you, I watched it 10 times, and on the 10th one, I was thinking, fucking hell, there's a lot in here. There's more in here than I.
But really, can you watch your own movies 10 times without getting like freak out? And man, I forgot this. Fuck.
No, I don't feel like that at all. I don't feel as though I don't remember making the movie.
Okay, you forgot.
So I've got the whole process. So now when I watch it, I'm just like, look behind you, and fucking, oh no, don't do that, and what's going to happen?
Really?
So, and arguably, more you watch it, the less you remember, because you get caught up in a sequence, and when you're in that sequence,
you remember the quotes, and sometimes you remember them even wrong, right?
Yeah, you do.
Like, I'm your father, Luke. The wrong quote. So you have it in your brain, but it's totally wrong.
And there's curious quotes that you remember, quotes that shouldn't be very important, but there's a turn of phrase. And why does that turn of phrase? There's a particular thing in here where there's a guy that's watching the telly.
Yeah.
What are you doing? I'm watching the telly. And for some reason, whenever I ask my wife whatever she's doing now, what does my wife says, what are you doing, babe? And she says, I'm watching the telly. I'm watching the telly. What a fucking sort of acoustic, sort of fucking what you're watching on the telly. But it's very human. It's very human. It's like talking about weather. I never think weather is about talking about weather. The weather's never about the fucking weather. The weather's about where's your head at?
Oh, how are you? It's like...
Yeah, but honestly, how are you? It's like, wow, it's quite...
Nobody wants to know, though.
Yeah, but yes and no, right?
Yeah.
Yes and no. It depends. Do you want the dead part? Do you want the dead part of the? Do you want the dead answer, or do you want a live answer?
Yeah. Nobody wants a real live answer. I was in the elevator seeing a lot of people I know. Hey, how are you doing? Oh, yeah, good. They don't want to know that I have problems, man. Fuck, I had yesterday this problem and that problem.
But that would tell you something about them.
A good friend wants to know, but everyone else.
No, I'm quite interested.
Right? Not even a good friend?
I know, but I actually have to tell you, I prefer the weather.
Yeah.
Do you know I prefer the weather because it's kind of neutral, but at the same time it's not.
Yeah,
How are you is a bit more like personal, but it's the weather. Oh, fuck, we should talk about the weather. Because your experience of the weather and my experience of the weather, it's the same fucking weather, we're experiencing the weather differently.
Yeah, and with the weather you can't do mistakes like the political correctness shit. Weather is everybody feeling the weather, right?
Yeah, but fuck it.
The time's up now, isn't it?
Well, then we got a couple more minutes.
Two more questions.
Yeah. How often do you train? You look like you train 6 days a week.
You train 6 days a week?
Do you train?
I mean, you should cover him on the cam, right? Can you just have him on the cam?
4 times a week, like 2-hour sessions, not like 1 hour sessions.
You know what?
My shoulders are in trouble.
Your shoulder?
But you can tell he's training. When I saw you downstairs for first time in my life for real, I was like, man, you can tell.
I don't know, we trained for fucking years. Before I did jiu-jitsu, I did karate. I did karate for 14 years.
Judo, right? You did judo.
I did. All my friends are judo players, and then I drifted into Shotokan karate, which I fucking love, by the way.
So why you never
it's quite good. Well, the great thing about jiu-jitsu is there was a definitive winner and a definitive loser, right? And that's, you know, ultimately what people are after. It was what I was after. Does it work? And the great thing, but when jiu-jitsu came along, it suddenly, there was no ambiguity. You found out if it worked or it didn't work.
So I think you're so obsessed with the sport, so why there is no an MMA, I don't know, kind of movie or something?
I always think they're terrible. I haven't seen a good movie about fighting. It's very hard to capture the essence of people that fight, right?
Isn't there coming a documentation now?
But documentaries are better. Documentaries capture the spirit more than a movie. Movies, it's because you're trying to capture a philosophy and it's very complicated. And fighters like fighters, and you know that's hard to explain why it is that. Do you know I've never fought anyone that was weak.
You never.
I never fought anyone that was weak, and we fought everywhere. Well, when I say everywhere, I don't know. I mean, I've done 50 gyms in America. I've been fighting one way or the other since I was 16 or something.
Oh, really? No.
Yeah, and I've never found anyone that was weak. Have we? Wherever we've been, you go to a new gym, fucking, you know, guys that they're weak physically, but fucking head is strong. And that's after how many thousands of people have we fought with? They're always, no one's weak. Are they? Once they're on the mat.
Especially on the mat.
On the mat. Once they're on the mat. Maybe before they get to the mat, but once they're on the mat, I've never met anyone that was weak.
So, Mr.
And that's a philosophy, right? Anyone that gets on the mat
isn't weak.
Isn't fucking weak.
It can't be.
Yeah, but that's thousands of people, right? You would have thought I've never come across someone that just collapsed. I've always wanted someone that just collapsed. You want to come out there and just destroy them. And I've just never known that to happen.
But you don't train like Ashton Kutcher or these kind of guys. You're really into the sport, into the training.
Oh yeah,
fake, man.
Yeah, it was fun. It's funny in the gyms in Los Angeles. They used to call me Hollywood.
Really?
But yeah, because I was like, you know, actually in London, I think they called me Hollywood. I can't remember where it was. Right?
I recently watched Ashton Kutcher train.
Yeah.
Is he good? No, he's not.
He's a brown belt.
Brown belt?
They didn't look like a brown belt.
No. Hey, he's a nice guy though, you know, and I think he means it. Doesn't he? He's been fine for a while now.
Yeah. I understand if you're like in front of the camera, you cannot like always train because you got bruises and scratches and everything. So you have to like.
But you need to go to a gym, is what you're saying. Yeah. That's the thing is you need to go to a gym. If you don't go to a gym, and I know there's a lot of people that train, but they don't go on the mat. In the end, you got to go on a mat with people you don't know. We did that in America. We went around all these different gyms.
That's the fun part of it.
It's fucking fun, yeah.
And training with new people.
Yeah, and also sometimes we overstepped our mark, we overreached, we're a bit cocky, we have our arseholes fed back to us. And all that was great fun. That's great fun. I love Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
You know what is crazy about us? We're Persians, so not only fighting is a thing, chess playing is a thing. Man, I was watching your Instagram and I was like, hey, he's a chess player, man.
I'm a shit chess player though.
Oh, good. Don't do it.
I'm a shit chess player. I play a lot of chess.
Fucking good. I thought you good because you play. I don't know. There are pictures like.
No, I've been playing for fucking forever. I've been playing forever. By the way, I can get quite good. Jiu-jitsu and fucking chess are very similar.
Yeah. Which of the actors is good? So.
I'll tell you who's good. Will Smith.
Oh really, Will Smith?
Will Smith's a motherfucker of a player.
Hey, really? Will Smith is good in chess.
And Will Smith watched us play for 3 months. He used to sit over the back of our shoulder, just not saying anything as we play.
Really?
Didn't say, and then one day he just rolled out a board, fucking destroyed me 3 times on the bounce. Fourth time I had my comeback, but I'm telling you, my arsehole had dropped out the bottom of my trousers. Will Smith's a really good player. But you're quite strict, are you?
We have to meet him.
Because of other people's shit.
Okay.
Next time Will Smith. Man, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was nice.
Cheers. Thanks, Dan. Cheers, Appreciate it. See you, mate. Let's see you.
Freunde, yes, yo, ich hoffe, ihr habt Spaß gehabt, ja. Und ja, wie machen wir das mit den 5 Karten? Also ich habe PDF-Links, also ich muss euch die Karten nicht mal schicken, ich kann euch das ganz normal per Nachricht schicken. Folgendermaßen, lasst uns das ganz easy machen, weil bei YouTube ist es ein bisschen schwer. Geh jetzt auf meinen Instagram-Kanal, ja, Instagram Bruce Lee. Geh jetzt einfach auf meinen Instagram-Kanal. Da habe ich ein Bild gepostet von mir und Guy, einfach nur damit ihr den Post findet. darunter schreibt ihr mir, warum du die Karte kriegen sollst. Easy. Und ich lasse 1, 2 Tage Zeit und dann antworte ich einfach 5 Leuten, die jeweils mit jemandem dahin gehen können. Also 5 mal 2 Karten, ihr wisst. Ansonsten kann ich euch nur empfehlen, also viel Spaß beim Gewinnspiel, aber Freunde, ihr solltet euch den Film auf Lunge ziehen, weil The Gentleman, erinnert mich an. Es ist eine Mischung, was soll ich euch sagen? Es ist UK, es ist Crime, es ist mit super krass. Ich will nicht spoilern, ein super krasser Plot-Twist am Ende und schreibt mir doch nachher, wenn ihr den Film gesehen habt, doch nochmal hier in den Kommentaren, wie ihr den fandet. Ansonsten, ja, Freunde, bis zum nächsten Mal, wenn es wieder heißt Rougie Baby am Start. Gangzeichen, Freunde.
Ich darf nicht alles über die verschiedenen Rollen verraten. Aber unser Protagonist ist ein hungriges Raubtier. Es geht natürlich um viel Geld, ist ja immer so. Der Gegenspieler unseres Helden tritt wie ein regelrechtes Feuerwerk auf.
Wenn du Qualm riechst, dann weil es irgendwo brennt. Das Feuer würde ich ganz schnell löschen.
Es gibt nur eine Regel in diesem Dschungel. Der Löwe frisst, wenn er Hunger hat.
Ihr habt also einen umgebracht.
Nein, eigentlich war das eher die Schwerkraft.